Welcome back to the channel, everyone, for another Cheating Lefty disc review. This time taking a look at the underrated distance driver, the Surge SS from Discraft. Now, even though the Surge SS has the SS or super straight tag to it, it's still a pretty overstable, semi-overstable disc for average to slower arms. That turn of -2 I don't necessarily agree with. I think it's probably closer to -1, maybe even -0.5. Because for slower medium arms, it's going to be semi-overstable. Going to be a good straight with a nice predictable finish. Faster arms, it will be able to hold turnovers. Maybe will fight back at the very end of the flight. Very comfortable. It has that slight dome to it on the profile, so again, very comfortable and neutral for both backhand and forehand shots, which is something I particularly love in discs like this. Now, heading out to the course, let's take a look at the different flight types you can hit with the Surge SS. On a hyzer, you can just see it's holding very straight and then just has a nice predictable finish. Again, for average to slower arms, this is the kind of flight that I think you should learn to expect from the Surge SS. Versus the Surge, it's not going to have an extremely hard finish, hard dump at the end. It's going to have a nice straight and then hyzer, not just holding the hyzer the entire way. Not to mention, it's a little bit more workable in the mid-flight, so definitely flies like an SS, like a beat-in Surge. It's going to have a little bit of turn when thrown flat, when thrown on an anhyzer. It'll get that little bit of turn in the mid-flight, but will still always have that predictable finish for players with average to slow arms. Additionally, the Surge SS has amazing glide. It really just likes to stay up in the air. Even when thrown medium low like this, it still just kind of wants to keep pushing forward and gain you a little bit extra distance. And you can see again how it really resists turning over a lot. That had a bit of wrist roll on that release, and you could see that it still held a nice straight line before hyzering out, even when trying to throw flexes. Yes, you do get that turn that I mentioned in the mid-flight, a little bit there, but it's not getting big drastic turns that you see in a lot of real understable discs, say like the Hades, the Thrasher, DJ Tempest, Rogue. You're not seeing those big turns in the mid-flight. It's getting nice and gentle, and then always, as said, always the predictable finish. So if you are average, slower arm, you can really trust that this disc is going to hold even into semi-wind. Now, I wouldn't throw this into super windy, big gusting headwind days, but at least when it comes to mild wind to calm weather, this is really a do-everything style driver. It's going to hold a hyzer for you. It's going to be a nice, easy flex disc, as this shows just how you can get nice sweeping kind of flex and then still hyzering out if you give it enough height. And then you have to put a ton of angle on it just to get it to really turn. And as you can see, I can't even get it to hold a turn the whole way, which is why I think that, again, bigger arms, you're going to be able to get it to hold that turn. But for us average arms, you can see it likes to fight back. Now, unfortunately, one of the only drawbacks of the Surge SS is the fact that it only comes in a few different plastic types and can be difficult to find. But if you can find one, you are rewarded with an amazing controllable distance driver that for players of almost any skill level, you're going to find an amazing use for. Looking at the Lefty lines, you can see the beautiful flight to it. This is a great disc, again, if you can find it. Great glide, very predictable, even in mild wind. It is a disc for everyone. If the Surge is maybe a little bit too beefy for you, go ahead, take a look at the Surge SS. You won't be disappointed. As always, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe, hit that like button. Until next time, keep banging them chains.